Hey everyone, today we're going to do something seriously cool. We are going to unlock the ability to power on your computer from literally anywhere using nothing but your phone. We're focusing on a Dell PC for this, but the same basic ideas apply to a lot of different computers, so let's just dive right in. You know the feeling, right? You're perfectly comfortable on the couch, you want to stream something from your computer, but it's off. Or maybe you're out and you realize you desperately need a file that's sitting on your desktop at home. It's such a small thing, getting up to press the power button, but it just completely breaks your flow. What if you never had to do that again? Well, you don't. The answer is this fantastic piece of technology called Wake on LAN. Now, it might sound a little technical, but honestly, you can just think of it as a remote power button for your computer that works over your network. It's been around for a really long time, but it's one of those hidden superpowers that a lot of people just don't know their computer even has. So what exactly is Wake on LAN, or WOAL as you'll sometimes see it called? It's basically a standard that lets a computer that's in a really low power state, I'm talking sleep mode or even completely shut down, get woken up by a very specific message over the network. See, when you shut down your PC, it's not completely off. A tiny little part of it stays awake, just listening, waiting for this one special command. And that special command comes in the form of something with an absolutely perfect name. A magic packet. The best way to think about it is like a secret knock. Your phone sends this unique little signal across the network, and your computer's network card, which is the only piece of it still listening, hears that knock, recognizes it, and says, "Yep, that's for me." And then it tells the rest of the computer to power up. Okay, to get this all working, we have to go on a little three-part quest. And our very first stop is the BIOS. This is like the deepest, most fundamental level of your computer's settings. We have to start here to give the hardware itself permission to listen for that secret knock. Getting into the BIOS on a Dell is actually pretty easy. All you have to do is restart or turn on your computer, and the second you see that Dell logo pop up, just start tapping the F2 key over and over. Don't hold it down, just tap, 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 tap. If you do it right, instead of booting into Windows, you'll land right in the BIOS settings menu. So, once you're inside the BIOS, you'll need to look for a section called Power. And in there, we're hunting for two really important settings. By default, deep sleep is probably turned on to save energy. The problem is that completely shuts down the network card, so we have to disable that. Then you'll find the Wake on LAN setting, and you need to turn that on or enable it. And this is the key. Wake on LAN will not work if deep sleep is turned on. They can't both be active. Now, this is probably the single most important step in this whole section. Once you've flipped those two settings, you have to find the option to save and exit. If you just exit without saving, all that work you just did will be gone, and you'll have to do it all over again. So make sure you save, and then your computer will restart. All right, part one is complete. The hardware is ready to go. Now, it's time for part two. We've got to get the software, in this case Windows, on the same page. We basically have to tell Windows not to mess up the settings we just enabled in the BIOS. First things first, we need to turn off a feature called Fast Startup. Now, I know it sounds like something you'd want to keep on, right? But the way it works can interfere with Wake on LAN. So just head over to your control panel, go into Power Options, click where it says Choose what the power buttons do, and you'll see a little checkbox for Fast Startup. Just uncheck it and save your changes. Okay, with Fast Startup out of the picture, there's just one last little tweak we have to make inside Windows. We need to go right to the network card settings and give it explicit direct permission to wake the computer from sleep. The absolute fastest way to get there is to press the Windows key. Just type ncpa.cpl. That's ncpa.cpl, and hit enter. This pops up your network connections. Find your main Ethernet adapter, the one that's plugged in with a cable. Right-click on it, choose Properties, and then click the Configure button. This will take you deep into the hardware settings for that card. In that configuration window, look for a tab called Power Management. And in there, you should see two checkboxes. The first one is obvious. Allow this device to wake the computer. You gotta check that. But the second one is just as important. Only allow a magic packet to wake the computer. You definitely want to check that one too, because it prevents any random network chatter from accidentally turning your PC on in the middle of the night. And there we have it. We've prepped the hardware in the BIOS, we've configured the software in Windows, so now it is time for the final, and let's be honest, the most satisfying part, setting up the actual remote control on your phone. So you might be wondering, how does your phone know which computer on your network to wake up? Well, it uses a totally unique identifier called a MAC address. Every single device that can connect to a network, your phone, your laptop, your smart TV, has one. You can think of it as your computer's permanent, unchangeable network fingerprint. And finding this fingerprint is really easy. Just open up the command prompt on your PC and type ipconfig/all. That's ipconfig /all and hit enter. Now, it's going to spit out a lot of text, but don't get intimidated. Just find the section for your main Ethernet adapter and look for a line that says physical address. That long string of numbers and letters, that's the MAC address we need. Go ahead and write that down. Okay, now for the home stretch. Grab your phone and head over to your app store. Just search for Wake on LAN. You'll find a bunch of free apps that do this. Just pick one, install it, and open it up. Look for a button to add a new device. Give your computer a name you'll recognize, like my Dell PC. And then very carefully type in that physical address, the MAC address that you just wrote down. And that is it. After all of that configuration, all that tweaking in the BIOS and in Windows, everything we did, it all comes down to this: one single button on your phone. So go ahead, shut your PC all the way down. Wait for it to go quiet. Now take a breath and tap that button on your phone. And just listen. You should hear the fan start to spin, the lights will kick on, and your computer will boot right up, just as if you were sitting there and had pressed the power button yourself. It is pure tech magic. So the big takeaway here is that you've just fundamentally changed how you interact with your computer. This isn't just some party trick, this is a real, genuine upgrade in convenience. You've unlocked a whole new level of control over your own hardware, basically bending the network to do what you want. And that just leaves me with one final thought. We just took a standard physical button and made it totally virtual, accessible from anywhere in the world. So if you can wake your computer from across the house, or even across the country, what else in your life is just waiting for its own magic packet? Thanks for joining me for this one.